Hey guys, also here, and welcome back to another video. I haven't made a video in quite a while. I guess it's been about 6 months since I've done anything on YouTube. But an album came out that I wanted to make an album review for, pretty recently, and I just wanted to talk about it. So that would be Mark Knopfler's Down the Road Wherever album. Well, I guess I'll talk about the albums in the background. We have Judas Priest Firepower, and it's not here because it sounds anything like Mark Knopfler, but it was released in 2018, and I think it's the only other album I own that was from 2018. Then we have 4 Mark Knopfler albums, those being Golden Heart, Sailing to Philadelphia, Shangri-La, and Killed to Get Crimson. And I only own anything from Mark Knopfler on CD because vinyl's expensive. Anyways, this is Mark Knopfler's 9th solo album. It was released November 16th, 2018, and I wanted to make this video on January 16th, so it would have been a full 2 months to the day that this album was put out, but I couldn't do it because I needed to listen to the album more. So I guess I'm fine with that. It gives me more to talk about. Also, Happy New Year, by the way. Guess I should mention that.
What else should I say about this?
I should probably mention that I've been a fan of Mark Knopfler since I was about 3, so I have a lot of experience with listening to his style and knowing how his music should sound. It's always well produced, the vocals are always good, and the guitar is always on point. I have notes for this, by the way, because there are 13 tracks on here, and I can't talk about them all without missing a few things unless I have notes. So let's get started. The first track is called Trapper Man, and it's like, kind of feels like a pop song a bit, and I'll get into why, but it starts out with like a clean guitar tone, and the drums come in at around 20 seconds to drive the song. Like I said, it feels a bit poppy. The reasons for that are that it contains synths in the background, has female backing vocals, and it's driven by the drumming, as well as it sounding more produced than anything else on the album. I think, anyways. But it's still a good song, and I like it a lot. I like the guitar solo that comes up twice. Comes up first at 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and it comes up again at 4 minutes exactly. The second song on the album, that's all I had to say for the first song. It's not my favorite on the album, but still definitely a good song. The second song is called Back on the Dance Floor, and it starts out with like a really cool kind of bass line and soft percussion. Sounds like they're on the bongos, but I'm not entirely sure. And then once the guitar comes in, the song picks up a little bit and gets a little bit more energy to it. In my notes, I say I like the guitar tone, and I remember liking the guitar tone, but I never remember exactly how it sounds until the song comes on, so we'll hear that about 6 minutes into this. That song has a really infectious groove to it. It's a toe tapper. I don't think I can get through that song without like tapping my foot to it. So I might be bouncing around a little bit when that song comes on. And then the vocals in that song are really fun. They're not super complex. It's kind of like it's a bit of a poppy song, but the vocals are really good on it. Like I said, Mark Knopfler always has really good vocals, so that's everything for the second song. The third song is called Nobody's Child, and it starts with a clean guitar, and the other instruments come in at around 20 seconds, including the vocals. And in that song, everything works together really well to make like a kind of solemn, pretty song. I like it. Like it a lot. And the vocals in that song are like the classic deep type that you expect from Mark Knopfler. It's the first song on this album that really struck me as a Mark Knopfler song. Considering Trapper Man and Back on the Dance Floor seem a little bit more poppy than I'm used to for him, at least. And the vocals in most Mark Knopfler stuff doesn't really disappoint me.
I remember in
that song, I don't have it in my notes, but I definitely remember in Nobody's Child, he has this like weird thing where he sings Yippee-Ki-Yay, but I know that's not the line, but I can never hear it and not think that he's saying Yippee-Ki-Yay.
And in a few seconds,
we're gonna get into Back on the Dance Floor. And try not to tap your toe to this, I swear. It's great. I think that's all I had to say for the third track. So the fourth track
is called Just a Boy Away from Home, and that song is note for note for the first 3-4 minutes, the exact same song.
Aside from the lyrics, as Mark Knopfler's song Junkie Doll off of Sailing to Philadelphia. But I like Junkie Doll, so I'm happy that if he's gonna take from his own
music, he took from a good one.
I put in my notes that the guitar tone on
Just a Boy Away from Home is very happy, and I remember thinking that the guitar actually sounded like it could be out of the video game Yoshi's Woolly World, because it's just like happy, and it feels like it was being played on a cloud. All the instruments feel like they were being played on a cloud.
Just because they're very light
and happy.
Everything on that song is happy. But yeah, the song is just a note-for-note recreation of Junkie Doll, just a little bit higher. Junkie Doll had like a lower tone to it. This song is a lot happier. And, God, I'm getting distracted, but Back on the Dance Floor. But yeah, at around 3-4 maybe minutes into Just a Boy Away from Home, it goes into an instrumental bit that lasts until the end of the song. And I love that part. It just sounds very upbeat and like uplifting. I don't know if uplifting is the right word, but I definitely love it. The fifth song on the album is called When You Leave, and that song is amazing. I really hope that I draw out this video long enough so that you can hear it, because that song is beautiful. It's my favorite song on the album, and the style, according to my dad, sounds like it's club jazz, and I think it's because of like the dulcet tones produced by the piano, the guitar, and then the muted trumpet. The muted trumpet definitely adds to the beautiful sound. It's my favorite part of the song. And it's actually, the muted trumpet is actually my favorite part of the whole album, even when it's used on the other songs. It's just such a pretty sound, and it really makes a song for me. I've only been listening to this album for 3 or 4 days now, but this song has made me cry multiple times. And actually, I put in my notes to remind me to say this, that
When You Leave is now one of my
favorite Mark Knopfler songs that he's ever made, In Dire Straits and Out. It contends with his songs Brothers in Arms, What It Is, and Rudiger for my favorite Mark Knopfler song that he's ever made. Because I have a list of my favorite songs, and I put When You Leave on there, and I couldn't decide where to put it in relation to Rudiger and What It Is. I know I don't like it more than Brothers in Arms, though, because that is a masterpiece of a song. And not to say that When You Leave isn't, but I have a lot more connection with Brothers in Arms than I do with a song that I just listened to the other day. The sixth song off the album is called Good On You, Son, and it's the first song I heard off the album, and it's actually how I was introduced to the
album in the first place. So I found out that Mark Knopfler was putting out a new album.
And
because it came out as a single on YouTube. It had a music video in September. So now let's talk about the music for Good On You Son. It starts out with like a nice little guitar thing that he does, and it comes out of When You Leave really well. It builds into what the actual song is, because it comes from a jazzy song, a cooler song, and it doesn't want you to get into the action straight away from listening to jazz, which I think is cool. I think the song structure on this album is brilliant. So yeah, it starts out with nice guitar work that goes into the actual song at around 40 seconds in. I like the vocals for the verses. And then the chorus has catchy vocals, and the solo has really fun guitar work. Trying to think of other things to say that aren't just in my notes because I want to talk. Well, I think you can listen to music. I mean, Good On You Son is just a fun song. Like I said, the vocals are all really fun to listen to. It's not so much of a pop song. I mean, it does feel a bit poppy at some points, but like, I'd consider it a rock song. I don't know if my opinion means anything to you. The 7th song on the album is called My Bacon Roll. This song that's about to play is the 3rd track. Anyways, the 7th song on the album is called My Bacon Roll, and honestly, if I had to choose the least favorite on the album, it would have to be the 7th track, just because it's not as strong of a song as anything else on the album. And I really hate to say that because the song's about bacon and I love bacon, but yeah, whatever. Like, I guess I can't do anything about the actual content of the song. It starts off with nice guitar work and decent vocals, but that kind of declines when the chorus comes in. The vocals end up being a little boring, the guitar work becomes another thing in the song that's boring by the time the chorus comes in. And I don't normally pay attention to lyrics in songs because I normally just pay attention to music more than the lyrics. But I feel like I'm forced to listen to the lyrics with My Bacon Roll, just because there's nothing really going on to make me listen to what's actually happening in the song. And I hate to say that because I love Mark Knopfler and I love every song he's made. I honestly don't think he has the ability to make a bad song. It's just, this is a weaker song than anything else on the album. In my notes I say, the lyrics, vocals, and melody are extremely weak compared to those of the rest of the album, and I honestly still think that they aren't very good. The songwriting wasn't as strong here as the rest of the album. Thankfully, the rest of the album's really good, so I'm happy that if there were going to be any bad songs, there was only one. And it's not even a bad song, it's just not as good. I did say one positive thing about the song, though. It does have a very enjoyable little guitar solo at around 3.5 minutes. Because Mark Knopfler, even if he makes a not that great song, he still throws something in for me to enjoy. So, thanks, Mark. The 8th song is what I believe we're on now, is Nobody Does That. And that one is really fun. It's like a funk song, and as with Back on the Dance Floor, you'll start tapping your toe, because it's just fun. It's, again, like Back on the Dance Floor, it's got a great groove, and it really works with what Mark Knopfler was going for with the funk song. What did I say here? The keyboards, guitar, and horns really sound like they jumped out of the 70s and it's the best. I agree with my opinion. I love that song. I give songs ratings sometimes, just because I like to. I gave that one an 8 initially, when I first heard it, and now my enjoyment of it has grown so much. It's a 9 now. The only 10 I gave on the album was When You Leave, and that's not that other songs wouldn't have been 10s. It's just When You Leave is so perfect that I don't think anything else on the album lives up to it. So there would be more 10s if I had allowed myself to give them. I guess we should probably get back on track, though. Anything else to say about that song? The vocals are fun. The groove is great. And, oh, here's the Yippee-Ki-Yay thing. That's over now. But yeah, I really like that Mark Knopfler tried different styles on this album, like jazz and funk, and I'm really happy that they worked out as well as they did. And now I believe we are on Just a Boy Away from Home, which I'll let you listen to for half a second. If it'll start. Those are the exact same notes used in Junkie Doll, just to let you know. So yeah, I think I'm done talking about Nobody Does That. Let's go on to track 9. Well, actually, I do have something to say. My hand is shaking a lot. Let me fix that. There we go. My arm is getting tired. Sorry about that. The 9th track would have been something else if I had the, some other version of the album. And I don't remember the title of the song, so I'll put that in the description if I remember to. But the 9th track on my album is called One Song at a Time, and it's a song that Mark Knopfler wrote about his time in Dire Straits, and I'll get onto that. But it also features the title line of the album. It's where he sings the line, "I'll see you down the road wherever." I love this song too, as with much of the album. So I have in my notes, the song is about his time in Dire Straits, his band in the late 70s and early 80s, referencing the line all the way back to the Deptford days. And Deptford was the place where Dire Straits originated from, so I think it's cool that he threw a song in about Dire Straits, which I love about as much as Mark Knopfler himself. So the music in that song is nice and sweet, and it's just easy to relax to. And the vocals and guitar fit perfectly together in that song, like more so than the other songs in the album. Anything else for me to say about that song? Oh, here's that guitar tone. It just sounds like it was being played on a cloud, doesn't it? I love it! But yeah, anything else for me to say about One Song at a Time? He said, Mark Knopfler himself said that the line, One Song at a Time, was taken from, I believe, Chet Atkins, when they were talking, and I think Mark asked Chet what he would do, or what he did to make music or something, and his response was, I've just been playing, or I've gotten out of whatever situation by playing one song at a time. Something like that. I know I'm not quoting him correctly because it sounded a lot cooler when I read it. But yeah. I'll link to the thing where I found that if I can find it, again, just so you know what I'm talking about. The 10th song on the album is called Floating Away, and it's another calm song where the guitar is like a rhythm instrument, and the vocals are like a lead that sounds really good with the guitar. God, I love the guitar tone in the song. I'll get distracted a lot, I know. In Floating Away, there are subtle female vocals that come in when Mark sings the line, Floating Away. And it's really well done, I like that a lot. The whole song is pretty and, like, calms me down whenever I listen to it. Even if I'm already calm in the first place, it'll calm me down even further. And the guitar solo in that song is also really nice and relaxing. Much like the entire song. Oh, also, I have, like, a piece of music equipment. That's my dad's. We just have that unplugged from the setup right now. Thought I should mention it if anybody's wondering what those chords are. The 11th track is what I believe we're on now, what we're about to talk about. The 11th track is called Slow Learner, and like When You Leave, which is about to come on right now, I'll let that play. Play, please. Thank you. Hi, voiceover also here. I can't let the audio play because copyright's a thing, and I got in trouble for it. So I just can't let the audio run for too long. Thanks for understanding. Bye. When you leave, it's such a beautiful song. I need to talk just so I can get through the video, but I really wanted you to hear that. So I said for Slow Learner, like When You Leave, it's another very beautiful, emotional sounding song where the music hits you before you even listen to the lyrics. I'm stumbling over words because I don't know. I'm very excited. But it also features the muted trumpet, which, like I said, sounds beautiful, and it really makes the song 1,000 times better than what it would have even originally been. And it also has like soft piano in it, like this one. I don't know if you can hear it that well, but I love this song. But yeah, the muted trumpet and soft piano in both of these songs actually really add to the emotion of the song, and I think they're great. And Slow Learner is probably my second favorite song on this album. I just want to let you listen to the song. I don't know if I'm even allowed to let you listen to this, so voiceovers. Alright, talking time again. Sorry. The 12th song on the album is called Heavy Up, and it's a song that brings you... I want to let you listen to this. I'll stop talking for a little bit right now. Actually, I can't let you listen to this part either, because copyright again. And this one's pretty long. I wish that you could have just listened to this in the video, but copyright claims are a thing. So I say just go out and listen to the song itself. It's called When You Leave. It's a beautiful song, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay, thanks. I don't know when this runs out, so I'm just going to stop talking now and hope for the best. Alright, I think I'm done with not talking. I need to get through this. So Heavy Up is the 12th song on the album, and it goes back to the upbeat style of some of the earlier tracks on the album. It's not exactly like a powerful song like When You Leave or Slow Learner, but it's definitely fun and entertaining, and really, when it comes down to it, isn't that all that music needs to be? I'm not really looking for a deeper meaning in most of my music. The chorus in that one is pretty catchy, and again, with most of the other stuff, it's not bad. Definitely a more poppy song, but there's really no problem with that. The melody gets stuck in my head a lot, though. Again, I've only been listening to this song, or this album, for a few days. I guess that song for a few days, too. But it gets stuck in my head way too much. The chorus from Good On You, Son also gets stuck in my head a lot. In my notes I put, I don't know how else to describe the song, so just go out and listen to it. Trust me, it's a fun one. It's a fun song. And I really don't know how to describe it aside from like poppy and fun. It's very like high energy, I guess, without being too energetic, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't. Just go out and listen to the song. It's called Heavy Up. The 13th song, I'm happy we got through that song because I love it and I wanted you to listen to it. The 13th track is called Matchstick Man. It's the final track on the regular version of the CD. It's not a very long song, actually. It's around 2 minutes and 50 seconds, maybe a few seconds longer than that. But it doesn't even touch 3 minutes, and this is Good On You, Son. There's that nice guitar I talked about earlier. Yeah, Matchstick Man is less than 3 minutes long, and I put in my notes that I guess if it has to be short, it's nice that it's short and sweet. Because it is short and sweet. It's not too much going on. It only features 2 instruments, and those are both performed by Mark Knopfler, those being the guitar and the vocals. Yes, I do consider vocals an instrument, and if you don't, what are you doing? Consider them an instrument now. I said that it sounds a little bit like it could fit on Kill to Get Crimson, the album. And I don't know exactly where it would fit on Kill to Get Crimson, but it sounds a little bit like it could fit on the album, just somewhere. I said that the music is very quiet, with the vocals being the lead of the two instruments and the guitar making for a nice background accompaniment that adds some soul to the song. The guitar is very nice. The vocals are pretty cool too. I like the guitar a little bit more than the vocals, but I always have. That being said, Mark Knopfler, as well as being one of my favorite guitarists, is one of my favorite vocalists, so really can't go wrong there. And here's the chorus for Good On You Son. Sorry. I'm just losing my mind right now because I like this entire album. I said that I like the lyrics in Matchstick Man, and it's not because they're crazy great lyrics or anything. It's just because they're written like I would write lyrics. I've written lyrics before, and I have to say, some songs I've written have almost those exact same verses as in Matchstick Man. Like things about how the sky looks and stuff like that. Not brilliant lyrics, but it's just how I write. And I guess it's how Mark Knopfler writes too. Which actually does make a bit of sense because my writing style is influenced by Mark Knopfler a lot. So that's the last track on the regular CD version. I haven't listened to any other tracks. I haven't listened to the one track that I'm missing that's on other versions of the CD. And I haven't listened to any of the deluxe edition songs. So maybe I'll go out and do that. I won't put out a review for those just because I really don't feel like it. And I really only like doing reviews for the original versions of the albums. So now I guess people need to not call me when I'm making videos. They should know better. Anyways, I don't exactly remember what I was going to say, but I should probably talk about my overall impression of the album now. What did I have to say about that? That's also in my notes because, yeah. Well, I don't even need my notes to say this. I remember thinking, and now I know, after comparing it, it's my favorite album of the year, and it kinda sucks that it came out so late, but it was worth it to wait the entire year for it. Even though most of it wasn't waiting because I didn't know it was coming out until September. But yeah, I liked 2018 for music because a lot of good albums came out. Firepower from Judas Priest, Egypt Station from Paul McCartney, and Anthem of a Peaceful Army from Greta Van Fleet, and yes, even Cool Patrol from NSP. All of those albums are great, but of everything that came out this year, I think Down the Road Wherever is my favorite. My favorite songs on it are, obviously, When You Leave. I also like this song, Good On You Son. Slow Learner, Floating Away. Every other song on the album is great. Specific songs though, yeah. I like When You Leave, Good On You Son. I already said those. What else? I'm looking through my notes right now because I'm out of things to say, almost. But yeah, When You Leave, Nobody Does That, Slow Learner, Good On You Son, Floating Away. I love those songs. Nobody's Child, Just a Boy Away From Home. Almost everything on this album is fantastic. With the one song that I didn't really care for all that much being My Bacon Roll, which still has a really good guitar solo on it, which My Bacon Roll is coming up right now. Not Food, the song. There were a few parts on this album that actually reminded me of Paul McCartney's Egypt Station, if I could words.
really quickly. Yeah, I think that's most of what I had to say. I'm just gonna check really quickly to see if I had anything else to say.
That was important. I doubt it, though.
Yeah, I said everything. Everything I wanted to, I covered. So I guess I'll just let you listen to this song for a little bit. It's not as good as the rest, but whatever, it's still pretty decent.
I never got the elbow. I slung it and added up to you.
I mean, I like this part. I like the beginning. And then it's around here that it kind of falls apart for me a little bit. Maybe a little bit later, but still.
Anyways, I don't think I have anything else to say, and I don't want to keep anybody waiting. So I guess I'm gonna cut the video off here, and I'll see everybody next time. This was a really long video, and if you made it to the end of this, you're insane, but I love you. Goodbye!